Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and there's still some life in the old girl yet, with The Walking Dead being resurrected across screens everywhere just in time for Halloween. The first episode of season 10 has just dropped, and the debut has a hell of a lot to unpack from it. There's hints towards the eventual direction that the show is going to take, and where the Rick Grimes solo films could be heading. Throughout this video I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know about the initial episode of the season, as well as what its ending teases. Now there will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't had a chance to watch the premiere yet, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. That's your last chance to back out, but with that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into The Walking Dead Season 10. We last left our cast of characters at the end of Season 9 with a warning from Alpha to never enter Whisper territory again. Not only did the villain decapitate all of the show's C-listers, but she also led Daryl to a horde of walkers that she threatened to unleash on the group if they didn't heed what she said. It looks like Alpha knew that this would fall on deaf ears, and we saw her preparing for what will be known as the Whisper War in the climax of the finale, and heard a mysterious voice on the radio that showed their world was about to become a lot bigger. Season 10 picks up in the aftermath of this, with the Whisper War slowly being teased throughout the episode. The episode itself kicks off with a satellite crashing on Earth, which not only shows that the people who were lucky enough to be in space during the outbreak are probably now all dead, but that the entire world has been brought down by the walkers. Whilst I'm sure most people already knew this, the fall of a Russian space station makes me think that the showrunners are lacing this with some anti-Trump Russian metal. I'll just stop there before we get too deep. Anyway, the satellite causes a huge forest fire at one point, which again is pretty relevant to our modern day, but unlike the survivors, this never forced us to walk into Alpha territory. It's a neat way to open the season, and it feels like the old world is finally truly gone, with its monuments and technology crashing to the ground. The episode truly kicks off when we get some awesome walker action early on, and from the off it feels like The Walking Dead is back in full swing as we watch some awesome deaths that feel like they were ripped straight out of Resident Evil 2. However, it's not all fun and games and slicing a zombie's head into three, and throughout episode 1 you really get the feeling that the survivors are throwing caution to the wind and contemplating taking down the thing that's causing so much fear in the camp. This is exemplified by Aaron, who says he's sick of being so goddamn nice and that he's not alone. He even takes on a group of walkers by himself to prove that he's fed up. But before you can say, "We're not gonna take it," we cut to Rosita's sort of love triangle that's really getting out of hand at this point. She's got Sadiq's baby, has a will they won't they thing with Gabe, and Eugene is just waiting for everybody else to die so that he can finally escape the friend zone. We learn that Carol is taking her breakup with Zeke in her stride, and that she's been on a boat like a Lonely Island video, sailing around, which is probably the best strategy to take in this entire thing. She reunites awkwardly with Zeke and Daryl, and Lydia too seems to be fully integrating with the camp, and we even discover Negan is slowly winning people round. Now that Rick's gone, I really hope he gets his moment to shine, as he was the villain that I used to love to hate, but now he's the villain that I love to love. He knows what it's like to lead in this newfound world, and I think after having learnt from his past mistakes, he could truly step into his own in this season. Anyway, back to the forest fire, and in order to extinguish it, the group have to go straight into Alpha territory. Eugene seems to be pointlessly stripping it for parts, and we see Carol and Daryl go away to discuss running away to Mexico together, even though it's probably just as bad there as it is here. It's not the get out of jail free card anymore, guys. Anyway, at the gorge we see Alpha wander around, and she locks eyes with Carol, and the two stare each other down. There's so much awesome subtext to this moment, and you really get the feeling that Alpha is so angry inside, even though her face doesn't really change all that much. The two stare at one another, and just like that, the Whisper War has begun, and it's time to rally the troops. Cancel that trip to Mexico, because this is about to go down. It's on! Now, how could things go ahead going forward? Well, it looks like the next episode of the season is going to be from the Whisperer's perspective, and instead of watching our heroes rally the troops, it'll be the enemies that we take the POV of. The only reason that I think this is happening is because we will see firsthand just how well equipped the Whisperers are, and it will lead to another major defeat for our survivors at the hands of them. We know that she's cleared the gorge out now and is really going to hit the survivors as hard as she can. Now, where does Rick play into all of this? Well, we do see Judith lovingly spreading his legend, almost like she's a disciple of Jesus, and I think that after the survivors' defeat, when they are at their lowest that he will come back, a legend reborn, resurrected if you will, he's just like Jesus, and he will inspire the survivors to fight on. Whilst I don't know exactly how they will explain why he's been the zombie version of the dad that's popped out for a pack of smokes and decided not to come back, I think this episode was a really enjoyable one. I've been criticised in the past of dinging The Walking Dead for being bad, but this one feels like a great setup for what's to come. I can't wait for the Whisper War, and if season 10 delivers on its promises, then we're in for a great time. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on episode 1 and what you hope to see in the future. Drop them in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video then please like it and make sure you check out my breakdown of this weekend's big release Joker, which will be linked at the end. I go over the hidden twist in the movie that you missed, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more about the real meaning behind the film. If you want to come chat to me on Twitter then make sure you follow me at DefinitionYT. If you have Discord and want to talk more about movies then make sure you click on the link in the description section below. We've got an awesome community and it's the best way to stay up to date with the channel. Also just want to let you know that we're currently giving away a free copy of Spider-Man Far From Home on Blu-ray, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is to like this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on episode 1 of The Walking Dead in the comment section below. The winner will be chosen at random on October the 15th and the Blu-ray will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are never missing television, so if that's the kind of thing you like, you need to subscribe to Definition. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this, you've been the best and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.